Ripple, in conjunction with Bain Capital, we found out today, is throwing down, they're investing another $1 million into the crypto space. I'm also going to talk to you a little bit, just a little baby boo bit, about Interledger Protocol. This is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and if you would, before we get going, please just delicately tap the thumbs up. You don't want to break it, though. Just delicately tap that thumbs up. Do not smash it. Just delicately tap it, and please consider subscribing if you don't hate everything that's coming out of my mouth. You can hate some of it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. All right, check this out. Investinblockchain.com. Ripple's Interledger Protocol, ILP, could become a global payment system. Ripple's XRP cryptocurrency has remained somewhat stagnant during the latest crypto market rise, reporting gains of just 16% from its monthly low of 30 cents to its current price of 36 cents. Most other large cap coins and a variety of altcoins have boasted gains well over 20%, leaving XRP behind. I don't care. This is me talking now. I don't care about short-term price action. But I did want to bring this up because I wanted to talk a little bit, just real briefly here, about the big picture, Ripple's big plan, why they launched ILP, and why are they doing that, given that they've got their own cryptocurrency that they really, not theirs, but you know what I mean, they're building on top of the ledger. They've got their own goals, their own priorities, and they want XRP to do well, of course. And I think they're being very good stewards of the XRP ecosystem. Sure, most certainly. Well, it was within the last several years. I can't remember exactly when conceptually they came up with, a couple of Ripple employees came up with Interledger Protocol, but essentially what it does is it's a protocol, not a blockchain, and it connects traditional finance with crypto. It can really connect anything of value, quite literally, because it's such a simple protocol. It's a very simple few lines of code that probably should have been written a couple decades ago, but nevertheless, here we are. Better late than never. But the thing about Interledger Protocol is it levels the playing field, and so they had this moment, the Ripple employees, when they came up with this, they're like, we really want to connect everybody, because it'll connect not just blockchains, but all of finance, and they're like, what's that going to do for XRP when we want to promote what's the best thing for XRP, right? And what they came to is, they came to the realization, they probably realized this because XRP, frankly, is the best technology out there, but they came to the realization that all they'd be doing by creating and implementing Interledger Protocol, all they're doing is creating a level playing field. And they believe, and they must believe it quite confidently to do this, that XRP is going to be not the winner, but one of the winners, because they understand that this is going to be a thriving ecosystem, and that it's going to be built over decades and decades and decades, and there are going to be at least a few cryptocurrency winners and a ton of losers, but there's going to be a number of winners also. And so, again, don't worry about short-term price action, in my opinion, not financial advice at all. Definitely not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. But for me, I just don't care. And I think that there are going to be certain use cases where XRP is just going to be perfect, cross-border payments. That makes sense. Look what Coil's doing with it. And there are going to probably be some other crypto use cases out there where, for whatever reasons, there are going to be other coins that are better suited for that. That's perfectly fine. And so, anyway, I love seeing this, though. It says, during the Interledger Summit of 2019, which I was just talking about in the other video recently, it was announced that Stronghold Inc., a financial services platform that powers cross-border payments and foreign exchange networks, will implement the first Interledger protocol, which is a giant step towards XRP adoption. And that's true. It's not just XRP adoption, but that's true. That is true. And so we got our boy XRP Research Center here, and tweeted out, 2019 adoption. The first fiat ILP connectors are launched. And he wrote, I don't know how I overlooked this part of the presentation, but it could be a huge step forward towards interoperability with traditional systems and critical mass adoption. So, yeah, this is something, and it's going to keep developing, and I'm going to keep watching it. I just think it's really cool, and it'll be really interesting to see in what ways cryptocurrencies integrate with traditional financial markets. So who knows? Nobody knows for sure. Even people at Ripple don't know for sure. Got some ideas about how it might pan out, but nothing ever pans out exactly as one might think. Fast forward another 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Maybe you get some stuff right, you get some things wrong, but it'll be real neat to see how this unfolds. This is really awesome, though. I came across this earlier on Twitter today. Danny Aranda, he's a Ripple employer. He's working on their Xpring initiative. He tweeted this out. Founders know what it takes to make new projects happen, and crypto's potential to transform finance is creating a new breed of entrepreneur. Xpring is excited to work with @R.Leshner, founder of @Compound Finance and support @Robot Ventures. And so that caught my attention right away. Ooh, a new Xpring initiative, right. And so I went clicking around here, and I clicked on this Leshner guy who I'd not heard of. And here you can see, again, founder at Compound Finance and @Robot Ventures. So I looked around. Then you see his most recent tweet here. If you're decentralizing or democratizing finance, I'd like to back you from my new fund, Robot Ventures. And then there's this link to the CoinDesk piece, which is right here. So from CoinDesk, titled, Bain Capital and Ripple Xpring invest in DeFi founders Scout Fund. All right. Now check this out. This is interesting. Robert Leshner is the founder of crypto money market Compound Finance. By the way, and this is me talking now. Compound Finance, I had not heard of them, but I clicked on it. It's actually something having to do with the Ethereum blockchain, interestingly enough. All right, moving on with the CoinDesk piece. Separately from that, CoinDesk has learned he now has a combined $1 million from Bain Capital Ventures and Ripple Xpring to write extremely early stage checks to very new companies. The project is called Robot Ventures, both a play on Leshner's first name and a reminder that automation is coming for all work. And the concept of this kind of made me go, huh? At first, it's kind of interesting, okay? Because think about this. If you've got some great idea, you're somebody that wants to start a company or just has started a brand new company in Silicon Valley, for example, and you want funding, who would you go to? You might think venture capitalists. All right, okay, that makes sense. Well, that's not exactly what this is. This is like a venture capitalist hires somebody to be a venture capitalist to go send money out. Did you follow that? So basically what happened is Bain Capital and Ripple Xpring Initiative, they're giving money to this Leshner guy to play the role of a venture capitalist, essentially, right? So seriously, that's what it is, the way I read it anyway. So yeah, they're giving him $1 million to give out. That's it. Now, here's what's interesting to me always, and this is why I love the Xpring Initiative. As you may or may not be aware, Ripple, with their Xpring Initiative, backs new businesses and ideas that specifically are going to utilize XRP in a unique way, a way that's going to be healthy for the ecosystem. So if you think long term, and you can think of both in terms of value, in terms of functionality, and also price. Price action, because they do want to foster an environment not just where XRP is actually used regularly and in big ways, but that the price over time, of course, healthily increase, right? Because of actual global adoption. And so Xpring's initiative is all about both of those things, value and price. Two different things, value and price. So even though there aren't a lot of specifics at this stage, if Ripple's throwing this money down, and I don't know what percentage is from Ripple, if they're doing it though, that's one of the stipulations, is it has to help foster a healthy environment for XRP. So this guy's getting paid to be a venture capitalist, essentially, to foster a healthy XRP ecosystem. That's what's happening here, right? And it's interesting here, in reading further, it states here, all right, here, Scout funds are distinct from angel investors in that they have a direct link to institutional money with an eye toward investing in later rounds. And investment by such a group increases a new founder's access to the fund's funders, in this case, Xpring and Bain, which is one of the world's largest investment firms with over $105 billion in assets under management. And here's an interesting part. So here's the size project that they're looking to fund. It says, in general, the check size is $25,000 to $100,000. These are not large investments, Leshner said, but part of the deal is that he's communicating with the two institutional backers about his pick, so referencing, of course, Ripple and Bain Capital. So he doesn't just get to throw his money out. It sounds like he needs approval, which I would certainly hope so. I mean, throwing out $1 million, I would hope that Ripple would make sure that it is going to be something, for sure, that's in some way going to benefit the XRP ecosystem. So that's cool. That all makes a lot of sense to me. So, guys, I don't know about you. I love seeing this stuff. This is just exciting. It really is, because we are just so early in the life cycle of cryptos. It's been around. I mean, the asset class has been around about a decade. I'm telling you, it's such early days. That's my firm opinion. And when I see stuff like this, it gets me thinking, wow, I want that time machine so I can hop in it and find out what my XRP is going to be worth in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I'm curious, but I'm convinced, this is just my opinion, I think it's going to be worth substantially more than it is today, and I'm never going to make a price prediction. I predict that I will never make a price prediction because that's just not my shtick. It just isn't. I like talking conceptually about the direction prices might go, big picture, based on facts, the actual landscape of crypto, but that's about as far as I go. So I like it. And here is the Robot Ventures Twitter page, up to 162 followers. So this is brand new, but yeah, this is the company that this Leshner guy is running to give away Ripple's and Bain's money to be able to help XRP and crypto projects. So that's what it is. And here's their website right here. And this caught my eye too. So here's some projects that Robert Leshner has been involved with. It says portfolio and prior investments. So you listening here, I want you to raise your hand if you use Blockfolio. And all of you just rose your hands, didn't you, right? Okay, so he was involved with that. Fascinating. And I just talked about Kava in my last video, which is the first time I had heard of them. And just tiny, quick one-sentence recap or two. Kava is basically utilizing Interledger protocol, which I just talked about at the beginning of this video, for enterprise solutions. And so you could think, how does that tie into everything? Also, what did I just say in the first part of this video? Interledger protocol, something like that can help spur the price of XRP over time, and really, even bigger than that, something like ILP. It's going to help. It's going to help us to figure out who the winners and losers are, which cryptos are going to win and lose in terms of staying power in price. I think one's kind of tandem with the other, right? So it's neat. That's what I got for you today. Please comment below. I love hearing from you. I am, again, not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.